You know, they might take what I got.
Just protecting their own best interest.
Exactly.
Instead of, you know,
and we do better when we do.
When we're collectively work together.
Exactly, but they don't want us to collectively work together.
They, for whatever reason, I have no idea. Because it benefits us all when we do. But, you know, I'll tell you one thing else.
But it's always better for some people to keep somebody beneath them.
Right. It's like if somebody's got to be on the bottom in order for you to be on the top,
right.
There's something wrong with that dynamic. It's like, how come we all can't rise up together? Right. What's wrong with that? But I was going to tell you one other thing is that, you know, I sit on these boards, these executive boards, and I've been involved with like the World Health Organization. I've been involved with the Council of Foreign Affairs, and they're all saying, the Trilateral Commission is, they're all saying that we're headed for this economic collapse. I don't know if you guys have heard this at all, but they're saying that by 2030, the bottom is going to fall out in a way
that's
that
in 6 years.
Yeah, they're saying the bottom is going to fall out in a way that you won't even recognize the United States in another 6 years from now. By 2030.
Now what does that mean?
2035 at tops. They said that we're headed for a fiscal cliff. You keep hearing them talk about this thing that's called a Great Reset. Anyway, I'm bringing this up to say this. Black people better get it together because the clock is ticking on. We are already at the low economic totem pole. We're at the bottom of it. If this thing happens, it occurs, like everybody is predicting that it's going to happen, we're going to be a permanent. And if you notice, it's like you have other immigrants coming in. You know, it's like we are going to be second class citizens in that permanent.
Well, we already are. I mean, because other people do get treated better than us. But other people, they stick together.
Yeah, they do.
They stick together, and we're just
not doing it.
We just are not doing it. They have broken our system to where, and we've allowed it. And a lot of us have said, "Come on, I'll help you break it."
But you know what we're doing is we're trying to gather people who think like us.
Okay.
And
that's how I like to spend my time, because you can't save everybody.
You can't save everybody. You know, in the Bible it says a remnant should be saved. You know, it's like you're not going to get everybody.
Right, you're not going to get everybody.
So we're just going to talk to the people that want to bring about change like we do, and be the change in the world that we want to see, and you know, coalesce with the folks that's trying to do something. And we know our markets already. You know, like I was telling you down in New York, in Flatbush, in those areas, the black people over there, they are doing it. And you get up in Illinois, and there's places down in Tennessee, they want to bring about change. And so when I come through those areas talking about what we're doing, it's like they fall right in. But in Saginaw, my own hometown where I'm at, can't get no movement there. You know, Flint is still.
I was going to say Flint either. You
can't
now. I'm just saying, because we are getting movement, but we are now.
We get more movement in Detroit, believe it or not. You know, there's a lot more going on in Detroit. But that's the mecca of black businesses in Detroit.
Well, but we need to do something here. We need to do something here because everybody doesn't live in Detroit.
Yeah. But we got to get the hearts and minds right.
Okay.
You know, it's like
so we need to read this because you have action steps in here for us.
Right. You see the little action steps we got back there. You see the action. There they go. Yeah.
I saw it someplace.
See, it's got the action.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay.
You know, step by step, so you can't mess that up.
And the first one you have is support black businesses.
That's
and that's what we've been talking about. Invest in communities. Invest in communities.
And the other thing is that, you know, we strive for black excellence. You know, one of the things that we hear a lot more often is that I'll go to she over there to get my nails done, but ooh, she ain't never got the nails, she ain't never got the polish I want because she don't show up on time. And, you know, we hear this. And so we're saying, look, you need to come into BNA. You have to become a student of your trade and become good in business. The black excellence piece of this, okay? It's not enough to just have a business card and say, I'm a black entrepreneur, now you just should do business with me because I'm black. No, do business with me because I'm good, I'm professional, and I happen to be black.
Right.
So we have to change that stereotype to get people to take us serious when we are in business. And so, like, if you're doing auto body mechanic, or if you're doing whatever it is that you have to be the best of the best of the best.
Well, we always have.
So we're not setting the bar low.
I mean, we do to get the same, you know.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
But I do know
There's
what you
those
mean.
Businesses out there
That are,
like, you know, I'm a voider. I'm not
janky. Let's just say there are those janky businesses. No.
I don't want to say that, but
Oh.
you said it. You said it.
Well, they
They're
are.
out there.
Some of them are.
But you know, they just need to get better at their trade of what they do in business, and that's another reason we formulated the BNA, so that they can learn from other business owners that are doing it right.
And I'm glad, because I get angry. I get angry about certain things. So when people say, you know, they don't go to the black people, they don't support black people. You know how we are.
Right.
Okay, so wait a minute. What does that mean? I know how I am.
Right.
And I'm not like what you're saying.
Right.
You know, it's like we get grouped in, and they have these stereotypes about black business. We have them.
We have them. We do.
But we are our own worst enemies on so many things, and we won't even support our own.
Right. That's what's happening.
So so I mean, and the first one you said is
support black business.
Support black business. I mean, this is Black Business Month. This is National Black Business Month, and we have to say support black business. That ought to be a no-brainer.
Right.
But we do need to tell people to support black business. Find out who this makes me think of something else you told me. Because I was going to say, know who your black businesses are. Because sometimes, you know, there's a store, I never even knew the owner was black. I mean, I just didn't. But we don't find out, and that was the point I was going to make, is we don't find out who they are.
Right.
And one of the things you're doing, and that was what I was saying, is I never knew the owner was black. I was going in there, and then I found out the owner was black. I got more excited. I was like, woo, yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, we don't even know where we know some of them, but some we don't even know about. And I think that's one of the things you talked about, is being able to have a directory or something as far as black businesses. Right.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's and this is like my this is one of my brainchild is the directory that we came up with. It's the next generation.
Okay.
Directory platform, because it has its own built-in marketing system.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know how Google works, you got to pay more money to reach, a broader audience. And what we've done is flip the industry. We kind of right-sized it. So now that anyone can, it's a free service. It's part of our revitalization action.
Free service.
We don't charge anyone to be. If you're a black-owned business, it's like, get on that directory. What we're doing right now, and we pay a lot of money for that. So what I'm doing right now is we're getting it set up so that it will have its own app in the App Store. And so you can download it. You can be able to put your listing on there. Now, what's really cool about our listings is that you can actually talk to your visitors. So if somebody goes to your listing and they contact you, you have on your app, you can pull it up and you can talk right to that person through your phone.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, what's the other nice thing is that you can share it across all popular social media platforms. And then it's got impression counters. So when you send your listing out over the social media, you come back and you can look and you can see how many people actually were looking at your listing. And you can look, and you can also attach your profile. And so now Google doesn't have anything like that. So what the profile page does that's attached to your listing, it tells people who you are. Okay. So then now you can put a name to the face. Now, another key factor with our directory is that you can upload documents. See, this is something that you can't do with Google. Mm-hmm. So your accreditations, if you're a restaurant, you want to be able to put in your menu or whatever, you can put all of that on our directory. And again, all of this is free. Now, what's really cool is the more you keep promoting your listing, we have another popular section on the that runs along the side of the directory, and you will pop up there. So what we've done is we incentivize our members. If you go out and you're promoting your listing, you're going to show up in more places on the platform. Okay. So it gives you incentive to do that. And again, all of that's for free. All of that's for free. That's part of our revitalization action because we want to get Black people to know where the other Black businesses are at, and then start patronizing those establishments.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. And we really need to talk about this so many times. So many times.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough.
Yeah, but that's why I appreciate you for having me back here and, you know, talk about the work that we're doing. It's challenging, but it's also at the same time rewarding.
I was going to say, but it has to be rewarding.
It's rewarding,
you wouldn't be doing this.
I feel, you know, the benefits outweigh whatever negativity that's coming. You know, so that's why we keep up the good fight. And, you know, long after I'm gone, I want what we're doing, the grassroots that we're laying down right now, to continue in other people that could see the work and the value in what we're doing. Because, you know, Black people, we have value, and especially when we have connect with each other.
Right.
When we put that energy into each other, it never goes, you know how the Bible says it never comes back void? When Black people learn how to do that, it never comes back void. All the stuff that we have been doing right now with DNA, it's manifested. And so what I would like to see that is on a bigger microcosm, because we're just doing that on a smaller level right now. Just imagine if we have 10, 20,000, 30,000, you know, Black business owners all, you know, coalescing and coming together. You know, that would be a game changer for us.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need a game changer. Because I don't like the game we're in right now.
Nah, I don't like it either.
I don't like
you don't like to change the game.
That's right. But they say don't hate the player, change the game. Hate the game. Hate the game. So we're going to change the game. And that's what we need to do.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
And that's why we need to have these conversations and really educate and inform people and let them know about the resources that are available.
Right.
This is time to elevate codes of conduct for the betterment of Black America. I'm going to read this. And really,
that's your personal
about, and I want it autographed. You know, I do.
I'll make sure that I sign it.
I want you to sign this. Because I just do. I want it signed. But I want to look at this because these are the kinds of things that we've been talking about. And that's, I think these conversations are just so important.
We have a copy of the bill in there. I didn't mention anything about the indigenous.
Right.
And we have a bill that we're trying to get. I think I
you should talk about it. Say something about
that. Working with Dan Kilby, and then, Dan Kilby is kind of winding down out of his position, and we're waiting for somebody else to come in. But, the bills can't be submitted by individuals, by the Commonwealth. It has to go through, a sitting representative. And so right now we're just kind of getting people to sign the petition. But what this bill is, it's a game changer for all Black people, because you know that the singing and marching and holding hands and singing Kumbaya, it ain't done much for them. We have to get bills passed in legislation. Right. And so we know that our collective voting power hasn't done much. So we're trying to get this bill. And it's called the Black American Indigenous Recognition and Support Act. I'll say that so many times, that's a mouthful. But what that's going to do is it's going to treat Black people like we are Native Americans. There's a company called African Ancestry. We're co-partnering with African Ancestry. Dr. Ritter and Page and those guys that are over there. What we're doing is we're going to put in the bill that we can do our DNA testing. And they can tell you all the way back to where, if you're Sudanese, or they'll tell you exactly where you're, where you came from in Africa. And so what this does is it shows that our connection to our ancestry. And what that would do is going to open us up. You will get a card that will give you another identification card identifying you as part of a tribal nation, just like our Indian brothers and sisters. And that's what this is going to do. It's going to be able to provide affordable housing, free education, free health care, just like our Native brothers and sisters. So it's already been done. So we're not asking for something extra. We're just saying that this has already been done for people. Native Americans, we're saying that, Black Americans that recognize our indigenous heritage should be eligible now to be able to partake of it. Now, what we're trying to do is do a collective bargaining agreement with this bill. Okay. Because we're saying that if you want the Black vote, because every election season they come around, they want the Black vote. And so what we're saying is, if we can get
and get blamed,
yeah, so we ain't playing around with them. We're saying, if you want the black vote, you got to give us something to vote
exactly.
for. So if we go put this bill in for us.
And you know what, I get tired of saying, well, I gotta get there first, but sometimes you're already there.
Yeah.
There's an election going on, but you're in there right now. Go on and do this now while you're there. Don't tell me you have to have this for me to get that. There are some, we always say, okay, we'll wait, and then we wait and don't get anything.
Right.
I'm looking at something in here. I like this action item, number 21. Personal responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions, choices, and contributions to your community and society. Right. And we can take personal action and say, I'm going to make sure I'm spending in the black community. Absolutely. I'm finding out who does certain things and put my dollars there, because those are the things that help us, that help me. Absolutely. When you do that. Absolutely. When we do that with each other, for each other, we get better.
Absolutely. And something else the book does? It tries to help us to be able to clear a lot of distraction. Because, there's nothing wrong watching sports and having, these activities and things like that. That's part, we got to have balance. But it's also so that we don't get so enamored with all this other stuff that, black people get involved with, that we don't focus on what the real prize is. So that's another thing that this book does, is it just kind of focuses us in on the key issues that are important. And then it's like we create a pathway to that. That's how we're going to change. Because, see, without the action, there's not going to be any change. So we always say that's like a definition. When you keep doing the same, you expect well, you got to do something different if you want to see a different result.
Something different, unity and solidarity. So
that part of the book is like an action. It is like a playbook.
I like it.
It's a roadmap for us to be able to move up, because when Claude Anderson wrote that book for Power Knowledge, he was so disappointed because black people didn't practice it. But I was just like, this is why we put the DNA together. Okay. And this is why we got the book now. Okay. There's no excuses.
Okay, you heard them. No
excuses. No you won't change. There it is. We got it now. All you got to do is
and what I like is it's a quick read too.
It is.
It's not like
one afternoon.
Yeah, you can do this. You can do this, but it's got some good information in here. So, is there anything we didn't talk about that you think people need to know?
I'll probably have to come back to round 3 at some point.
I was going to ask you, are you going to come back? Because I think this is something that we need to continue to talk about.
We're in pre-launch right now. We're going to do a soft launch. But if I come back in a year from now, then we'll really see.
He's going to wait for a year. A year?
Because I was going to put it out to like maybe 3. I was going to put it out to like maybe 3 years, because we're grassroots.
No, that's fine. But I think there are other conversations, because you're doing a lot, and I think there are other conversations that we can have.
If I get high up, though, we'll do like the worst case scenario, we could do a Zoom or virtual.
We could do that.
But I wanted to make a personal appearance before we roll out, because I think after we get done with that, it's probably going to be, I'll be fine by the seat of my pants for a little bit. But we
won't see them. They'll be gone. So we better get them while we can.
The work is huge, but it's necessary.
Yeah, and I like that. It's huge, but it's necessary. And before we close, one of the things you always talk about is Black Power. And you say, what is Black Power?
Black solidarity. You can't have Black Power without Black solidarity. So that's my new thing. You should have held up your shirt that I gave you with the
can you grab
the Black Power.
Because I like it. I really.
Because years ago in the 60s, we used to, raise up our power fists like Black Power.
That's right.
My thing is today is that you can't have the Black Power unless you got Black solidarity. Until we come together.
Black solidarity. But I like the back too, because where it says Black owned, Black operated, Black oriented. www.bnausa.org. We're gonna put that in here so you all can see it. But I really like that. But you talked about power being solidarity.
So truly, for Black people to walk in their power, we have to unify.
Well, and that's I was going back to. Was that number 12? It was one of them. I said, and we are not unified when you talk about what they do in Detroit. But then you said we don't have it in Flint. We don't have it in Saginaw. We're so scattered in Flint. We're running around like just with the light turned on.
Saginaw and Flint Black communities are dysfunctional. It's like
He said that one. So
you know how when you come up out of the house and you see the kids and you go like, "Ooh, they're unruly," and then you go and see the parents, you be like, "Oh, now I understand why they like that." That's
unity and solidarity is what is lacking. And but a lot
busy
of
fighting
times,
amongst ourselves.
and a lot of times that goes to leadership too. Leadership can have a role in unity and solidarity. They can, we can, because it's been done before, and that's what's going on right here in the city of Flint. We've got a lot of mess and commotion going on because we don't have leadership. Because the leaders that we have are doing just what you said. They sell out. They aren't working in the best interest of the people. And when you care about me instead of we, then we never get to it.
Right.
We never get to it. So I just wanted to say.
And it's like the paycheck more than the people.
That's right.
You know, it's like
it's always
the money
profit over the health and well-being
Yeah.
over the people. And that's what's happened in Flint. That's what's happened in Saginaw. But that's what happens to us. And, you know, that's the carrot that's dangled.
Yeah.
And,
you go to the city councils in Flint, and you go to city councils and stuff, they marry each other.
Yeah.
You see all the frickin' and all the craziness that's going on? It's like no coming together of
There's
any
no
kind
coming
of
together.
And you see the dilapidated streets falling down, and the signs and the infrastructure, and it's like nothing's happening. It's like they're just continuing up.
Right.
And money is coming in.
Well, they're getting it though.
Yeah.
But they're doing it for themselves.
Whatever they're doing.
It goes in the general fund, or they vote for themselves and their 501c3s to get money when they shouldn't be voting for those kinds of things. They need to abstain from those votes. But no, let me get some money. And that's what happens. I could name them for you, so don't get me started because I just talked about it Saturday. It's a whole nother show, but it's the truth. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on with the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard work, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You know, it's worth the rewards make it. And we can change things. We have the power to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in us. And I like that you've given us some action steps.
And it's something that anybody can be able to do if you just put a little commitment and effort into it. Not difficult at all. There's something for everybody to be able to take part and do a little bit, or you can be able to do
How do you get it?
It's on Amazon, but I would say it's we have it discounted on our website.
Okay, so we're going to put that information up.
If you go to www.blacknetworksassociates.com, it'll pop up. There's a little pop up as soon as you're on the site, and then you can click on that and you can order your copy. Right now, for the month of September, anyone that's purchasing the book, they'll get free membership into. That's at the pro level. That's
I mean, if that's not an incentive,
that's at the pro level. And the pro level is $432. It's like $432 for the year. And anyone right now that purchased the book,
that's a gift.
Yeah, and that's like what you get in the full-blown websites. That's everything, So that's only for the month of September.
Okay.
So you heard it from me.
That's right. You heard it from him. And so we want to say thank you, Eric Culpepper, for coming on with us and sharing this information. We are going to have you back. But I'm glad you came in the studio to have this personal, up close and personal conversation about this, because it is, like we said, it's National Black History Month.
Right.
And sometimes our destiny can be right in our own hands.
That's right.
I didn't say hand, I said our hands, because this is a collective.
Correct.
And that's how we need to look at this. So
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I know, and I appreciate it. So thank you. And you all, again, I'm just going to say one more time, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver. See you next time.